Everyone has that moment. That one moment where life gives you a sign, a warning, a chance to walk away before it's too late. I had mine when I was 35, 20 years ago. 20 years and I'm still sitting in the same place. Same chair, same walls, same emptiness. At 55, I stayed where I should have left. The day I should have left was a Tuesday. Ordinary. Nothing special about it, except everything. She made coffee that morning, just the way I liked it. Extra strong, just a little sugar. She hadn't done that in years. I remember thinking maybe things were getting better. Maybe the fighting would stop. Maybe we would find our way back to each other. But at 55, you learn to recognize hope for what it really is. A liar wearing a pretty dress. That Tuesday afternoon, I came home early. A meeting got canceled. I walked through the door and I heard laughter. Her laughter. The real kind. The kind I hadn't heard directed at me in a decade. It was coming from the study. I stood in the hallway like a stranger in my own home. I heard his voice. Not loud, not obvious. Just comfortable, familiar, like he belonged there. I could have walked in. I could have ended it right there. I could have saved myself 20 more years of pretending. But I didn't. I walked back out, got in my car, drove around for 3 hours. And when I came home, he was gone and dinner was on the table, like nothing happened. At 55, I stayed where I should have left. The years after that Tuesday became a blur of silence. We slept in the same bed, but never touched. We ate at the same table, but never talked. We raised children together, but never looked at each other the same way. I told myself I stayed for them, for the kids, so they would grow up with both parents under one roof, so they wouldn't know the pain of a broken home. But at 55, you realize kids aren't blind. They saw everything. They heard the silence. They felt the coldness between us. I didn't protect them. I just taught them that love looks like two people giving up. My daughter got married last spring. Beautiful wedding. Flowers everywhere. She looked at her husband the way I once looked at my wife. With hope, with belief, with fire. And I watched my wife during the ceremony. She was crying, but not the happy kind. The kind that remembers what died. After the wedding, my daughter pulled me aside. "Daddy," she said, "I'm not going to stay where I don't belong. If it ever gets hard, I'm leaving. I hope you understand." She hugged me and walked away. And I stood there at 55 years old, realizing my daughter had more courage at 25 than I had my whole life. Went home that night and sat in the dark living room. Same house, same chair, same silence. But something was different. Something had cracked open inside me. I thought about all the mornings I woke up and chose comfort over truth. All the nights I chose familiar pain over unknown peace. All the years I stayed where I should have left. The next morning I made coffee. Extra strong, just a little sugar. I carried 2 cups to the kitchen table. She sat down across from me, surprised. "We haven't had coffee together in years," she said. "I know," I said. "That's why we need to talk. At 55, I finally found the words I should have said at 35. "I know about that Tuesday," I told her. 20 years ago. I came home early. I heard him. I walked out instead of walking in. And I've been walking out ever since. Walking out of my own life. Walking out of my own happiness. Walking out of the chance to start over. She didn't deny it. Didn't apologize. Didn't explain. She just looked at me with tired eyes and said, "I know you knew." I waited 20 years for you to say something. I waited 20 years for you to fight for us. For me, for yourself. But you just stayed. Like a ghost in your own house. At 55, I stayed where I should have left. But worse than that, I made her stay too. We sold the house last month. Divided 40 years of memories into boxes marked keep and throw away. So many boxes ended up at the curb. So many years ended up with the trash. She moved to a small apartment near the coast. I rented a place downtown. Close to nothing. Close to no one. Sometimes I walk past the old house. New family lives there now. I see lights on at night. I hear laughter sometimes. The same walls that held our silence now hold someone else's joy. And I wonder if they know how lucky they are. To still have time. To still have chance. To still have the courage to leave before staying becomes the only thing they know how to do. At 55, I finally left. But I left 20 years too late. If you're listening to this and something inside you is whispering leave, whether it's a person, a place, a job, a version of yourself you've outgrown, please hear me. The voice that tells you to go is not your enemy. It's your lifeline. Don't wait until you're 55 sitting in the dark, wondering what your life could have been. I stayed where I should have left. And I will spend the rest of my life learning to forgive myself for that. But here's what I'm learning. It's never too late to leave. It's never too late to choose yourself. It's never too late to walk through the door you should have walked through 20 years ago. The other side might be scary. It might be empty. It might be unknown. But I promise you this. It's better than staying where you don't belong. My name doesn't matter. My face doesn't matter. What matters is that you hear me. At 55, I stayed where I should have left. Don't you do the same.